You're listening to episode 83 of the Let's Go Comic Show. My name is Justin.
And I'm Matt.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going? Dude. First. No, it's not the first show. Oh, this is the first show, 2019.
Oh, Justin's. Well, I mean, we did. Technically, last week's show was the last show of 2018, recorded in 2019. It's a little confusing.
Can't do that. That's like some 0 hour timeline.
Well, it's only been it's a condensed timeline. We'll release it later.
It's
and
X-Men
let you know
confusing.
how everything fits in.
It's X-Men confusing. We'll figure it out. Wait, what'd you say? We'll
So it's a
release it later.
condensed 5-year timeline. We'll release it later, so everyone knows where everything falls.
Okay, well that makes sense.
That was like a deep. That was like a kind of a little
New 52.
New 52 jab.
Yeah.
Sorry,
job.
everybody.
Good job.
Sorry for everybody that
Worked
didn't
well.
get that at all.
Worked well.
I explained it really well too.
Wait a second. So Batman had 5 Robins, but he's been operating for 5 years. When did he meet Talia? Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Immediately.
Unimportant. Anyways. You only relate to Batman if he's 25. That's true.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. Because that came up how many times in the books? Never. FYI. We want our heroes young.
Batman's age has
wearing
always
collars.
applied to
It's never.
what
It's
I
been
read.
he's just eternally 35 or something like that. It's like, oh, well, Dick was 13. Now he's 25. Whatever. Math. I just think, hey, Batman takes a little dip in the Lazarus pit. You know what I'm saying? And then keeps himself young. Doesn't tell anybody. He's all, I don't go all the way
Just
down.
sneaking a little bit.
If you don't, okay. So
is he supplying Jason Todd and Speedy with their narcotics and stuff? Then that seems like kind of shady.
Batman?
Like he would be
No.
secretly doing that if
No, he
he's
would
sneaking
not.
behind and
no.
dipping into the Lazarus pit.
Let me tell you though. So if the Lazarus pit, Lazarus, oh my gosh, that's funny. If the Lazarus pit makes you crazy if you go inside of it, do you have to be fully submerged for it to affect your brain? Because check this out. What if you're like, you know what? I want to keep everything up top. All right. So you go all the way to the neck, right? So maybe you just go to the neck.
He just gets
Yeah, he's all, I'm going to
his
keep the
body
grays,
just
keep the
gets
grays,
crazy.
His
his body goes crazy jacked.
Yeah, because I feel right. I feel like if you dip, he's all. There's 2 ways to do this. I can Affleck it with a chain, or just jump in that little pit.
Affleck it with the chain.
Affleck it with the chain.
Sounds like a dance move.
It is, dude. It's on Fortnite. You get it.
Yeah,
Affleck it with a chain. Someone, I got to see an Affleck it with a chain. So it's a serious question. So if his head goes under, I feel like okay, it can affect you, or is it just hey, it gets into your skin, you're done?
I feel like as soon as you're in it at all,
Really?
it affects you.
I feel like, man, what if you just cut your hand? You're like, dang, that sucks. Just
Your
dip
whole
hand
body
in.
is connected, man.
No, I get it. Okay, there you go. Thanks for the real answer.
Yeah,
I was really
we're all
hoping
about
for
real answers.
real
I
answers
couldn't
here
have
on the
done
Let's Go
something.
Comics Show.
You wanted me to say something outrageous.
Yes. No. Okay. Anyways, Matt, welcome to the Let's Go Comics Show, where we talk about
thank
comic
you for
books,
Thank you for having me.
comic book movies, comic book TV shows, everything in the world of comics, and we rate those things with
we do.
a system. Matt, what is the
The
system?
Let's Go rating system,
Yes.
Justin. That is what the system is.
The system.
The system
Yeah.
is down. The system is down.
The same
Yeah.
system
Little
that
strong bad for you.
unlocks. Yeah, there you go. Strong bad. There's a reference no one was looking for
Oh,
today.
Checking the speed mail. So at the top of our rating system, we have a gotta go. Below that, we have a let's go.
Come
below
on.
that, a go.
Hey,
A little below that, a don't go. And a lot below that, trash juice.
trash juice.
Like that stuff being swept up from the seas to the shore by Ocean Master.
That's right. He was like, "What is this trash juice doing in my oceans? I am the Ocean Master." I saw people taking
Trash Juice Master.
Trash Juice Master. People taking issue with that, his name being the Ocean Master, and I'm like, but they explained it pretty well. Like, if you become
I was gonna
the
say
king
if
of all of the 7 seas, you become the Ocean Master.
Yeah, I mean, for such a silly name, I felt like they explained it as well as you could have.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Aquaman movie, by the way.
Yeah,
everybody.
spoilers. The #1 movie in America, FYI, and the world.
In the world.
In the world.
In a world.
In a world where Aquaman's in a world under the sea.
Under the sea.
Someone had a really funny. Who? You know what meme I'm talking about? It was with.
Did it have like Dory?
It was no. It was like Little Mermaid for boys or something. Like it was the title of the movie.
Hey, Little Mermaid was already for boys.
Hey man, it was. We just didn't know it, and they were like, "Oh,
Hey,
well, hello, kiss the girl." Okay,
Beastie girl.
Hey.
Justin, what are we doing?
I don't know.
tonight, dude?
We're just starting the show, man. Just all loose and ready to go. It's fun. This is the best part of the show. This is where we get the titles of the
Yes.
show. Typically,
As Tracy Jordan would say, banter.
banter. Yeah, banter, dude. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna talk about a few things today. We're gonna try to keep it. We're gonna give you the news that you like to hear, but also just give you a big old chunk of chat on Titans on DC.
Chunk of chat.
Chunk of chat. There you go. Get a chunk of chat of DC Universe's Titans series. So now that it's wrapped, it's been about 2 weeks. I feel like it's safe to talk about it because I've actually haven't really shared all of my thoughts about it because people tend
We're finished
to.
up right before the holidays, right?
You did? Yeah. It was like December 21st was the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes with these shows, people don't watch them right off the bat. Like I feel like when you unload them in one fell swoop, people will like binge it. But when it's this, episodic in like the sense of like, hey, it comes out once a week, sometimes it's harder to catch up because it's like, oh yeah, that's right, I need to catch up on some. So it's kind of safe to just open up the Titans tower and go inside and,
Yep.
But we're going to get that later. So first, let's just jump into some news real quick. Nothing super important. But Luke Wilson's in Stargirl.
Wow.
That's Owen Wilson.
Oh, yeah. Same thing, dude.
Luke Wilson's like, I need work. He was in My Super Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh, really?
And I'm trying to think.
I remember him
Charlie's
from
Angels, right?
Idiocracy. He's the main guy in that.
Oh, yeah, he was in that, right?
He was actually on That 70s Show for a while.
Was he?
Did you know that? Yeah. He
No.
played Kelso's older brother, Casey Kelso.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that show that much.
Oh.
I saw it like a few times.
I liked that show.
I always maintain that, like,
very funny.
I feel like not Kelso. Sorry, I don't like Kelso. That's
Ashton
Ashton
Kutcher?
Kutcher. That guy's such a wiener. No, who
He
played
is,
Venom?
but his character was great. What?
Venom. Who played Venom?
Oh, dude.
Topher Grace. He should have been Peter Parker.
He was
Spider-Man.
fantastic.
He should have been.
I can see that.
Would have been so much better, dude.
That's
Anyways,
why, in a way, we talked about this already. In
Did
a way,
we?
he made sense as like a dark mirror to Peter. in that
Yeah,
movie.
I mean, if you're
That's
gonna go
what
for
they're trying
that.
to do. Yeah. But anyway,
so he has been cast in the DC Universe series Stargirl.
man, they're getting a lot of
Yeah, people
I
that
would
used to
say
have work.
decently named, decent
People that used to work a
like,
lot.
level people.
Yeah,
Well, you got him. You got Joel McHale.
well, that's true.
I mean, they're not like
Yeah,
schlubs or
I'm being
anything.
a kind of
Yes, you are.
jerk. So he's going to be playing Pat Dugan, who pilots Stripe, the 15-foot robot that he
Oh,
invited.
yeah.
So that's who he's going to be playing.
Star and Stripe.
Yeah. So
That's cool,
yeah, dude. So it's going to be I'm so pumped for this show, man.
dude. All of these DC Universe shows seem to be like diving pretty deep into
Characters.
the character stable like right away. The fact that we got some of the characters we got so quickly in Titans like that, I think that's a window into it. But then also what they're doing with Doom Patrol and with the other stuff, like
We'll
it seems
see.
like we'll see how it goes. Doom
Yeah.
Patrol's in February too.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much yet because I
Okay.
don't want it to
Yeah.
taint what we're going to talk about
Fair enough.
later. But yeah,
But all that to say,
but
Luke
we'll
Wilson.
revisit this. We'll revisit this talk.
Stripe.
Stripe, yeah, Luke Wilson. Wow.
All right, so
Okay.
we have a few trailers.
Yeah, so we have actually a bunch of different things popping up, and so we're not going to go over every single piece of news that popped out in the last 3 weeks because you probably
Yeah.
already did it. But we will just talk about the Punisher trailer for season 2. People are pissed
Really?
because freaking Jigsaw is too handsome.
Does not look like Jigsaw.
So he doesn't look like Jigsaw. He got a
He has
face.
has a couple of like little scars. It was like when I don't know. I thought Kylo Ren was going to be more disfigured after that first
Scar.
movie. After
His
The Force
scar
Awakens.
moved
So
in this movie.
his scar is just like a little.
So what happened? Where did
Like,
it
oh,
move?
okay, you barely see it. Okay.
Yeah. Force heals things differently.
Yeah. When I first saw like the teaser for it, even did you see the teaser where it shows him wearing a mask at some point too?
Who? Oh yeah.
Jigsaw.
He had the
Like a
weird-
black and white kind of mask kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess that kind of looks like Jigsaw a little bit in a way, like a stylized way.
Sometimes you have to see it play out. Like, is it gonna be in the spirit of the character?
From what
You know?
I've read is that like mentally he's trying to piece things back together
Okay.
like a jigsaw. So which I
That's
guess I
fine. He
kind
just
of
got
get that.
blown up
Like he
big
got
time
his
at the end of that
face,
season. That's all.
his face was ran down a broken mirror.
Right?
Like
yeah, he was
it
just.
should not be able. I mean, if what was it? Was it Punisher Warzone that had?
Yes, I was just gonna bring that.
Dude, that looked gnarly. Like that one was gross.
Dude, that movie gets a lot of love right now. If you,
It was pretty
it's on
fun.
Netflix. I think
We
it's
watched
right
that
now.
together.
I remember we did.
He literally punched a guy's face in. I remember we both like laughed out loud. Like it just everything is so over the top in that movie.
It was so neon and awesome. It was just. Oh my gosh, who the heck played Jigsaw in that movie? Dominic West.
Yep.
Yeah, he was awfully awesome.
It
I'll
was
say
just so cheesy.
Ray Stevenson was awesome as
Oh yeah, dude.
he was like Tim Bradstreet Punisher to a T, dude. He was great. Anyways,
Welcome back, Frank.
yeah, welcome back, Frank. How you doing?
Yeah, so I mean, I fell into that. I'm not like angry about a show just because I don't do that, but
yeah,
but I'm like, dude, I was really looking forward to seeing Jigsaw and seeing like this really handsome guy like just be transformed.
yeah.
I'm like, oh,
His
it's more the
scars-
same. Okay,
Yeah, well, his scars don't make him look ugly. They make him look. Oh man, you're kind of cool, dude. You got a cool scar. on your
Right, those are kinda
face,
cool.
dude. I don't know, man.
so we'll see.
It is. Like I said, I'm not one to get all like it's not like the comic.
Oh yeah,
but
no, I
if
more
you're
just
going to
wanted a
set
difference.
it up the way they set it up, it's kind of like, well, what? Like you're saying, there's no way his face isn't jacked from that situation.
yeah, and more
and-
than anything, it's just a transformation of the character. Like you want to
Yeah.
see him come out looking and being different. So I mean, we'll see
Yeah,
what that
it could
ends up
get
being.
well. He can get progressively worse through like the entire show. So who knows how it goes?
Yeah, like the plastic surgery doesn't hold up or something.
There you go. Like maybe there's plastic surgery, and maybe like it just continues to like slide off his. I don't know how plastic surgery works. Just I'm not a science
Sure.
doctor, but
I'm not a science,
I'm not a science
doctor. Oh man,
But what did you think about the trailer in general? It was kind of generic, like they filmed it in a black room.
yeah, it felt pretty generic, and it didn't feel very different from the first season. Like I was kind of saying,
First
like,
season
hey,
trailer?
what do I look forward to in this? Like it just felt like more of the same.
And
Which,
Netflix is
again,
like, don't
to,
film any
To
trailers.
be fair, like I liked the first season a lot.
Yeah.
It's probably in like my top 3 seasons
Mhm.
of Netflix shows, the Marvel shows. So I mean, I'm fine, man. This is like a go for me. Like I was already planning on watching the show,
Yeah.
but it's kind of a little disappointing to see that look at Jigsaw and be like, oh, okay.
It's a little sad because you just know, like, the next week they're going to go, Punisher, canceled, not being renewed.
Right.
And so let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah, go.
Do you think Marvel should just reboot all these characters that are on the Netflix shows?
Like recast them?
Yeah.
And just do new shows and stuff?
No, just, I mean, whatever. New show or put them in the movies or what? What do you think?
I think it depends.
I feel like John Bernthal could easily,
John Bernthal
Be in
can
a
keep
movie.
going. Easy.
yeah.
Like
be
that
Punisher.
that's easy peasy. As amazing of a job as Charlie Cox does for Matt Murdock, they need someone younger, man. If
Really?
they're gonna do it again, yeah.
Why?
Like, well, with how long production takes, like for movies and for doing multiple things, like he already doesn't. He doesn't seem like a super young spry Matt Murdock, which is fine. I
don't
think
think
for
so?
the story they're telling, I think it's great.
How old is he? He's like 30s?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up, dude. Because
I don't think it matters.
I'm not saying like personally, like I think
Like for
I'm
stunts and
saying
stuff?
if you're
Or like
looking
they
at
can get a stunt
if you're
man.
looking at longevity of getting them more stories and stuff like that, I think he's not where you want him to be.
Wow.
That's just an opinion, dude. I have
totally
nothing
disagree.
against
Why do you hate
people
him?
that aren't like young. Oh, dude, he
You're
is
an ageist.
he is almost exactly the same age as me, which is really weird.
Wow. I don't think you should be Daredevil either, by the way.
I don't think I should be.
I don't think
So I'm sorry, Charlie Cox. Great job, man. You're doing
Charlie
good.
Cox. Good job.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
I think recast everybody else and you'd be fine.
Really? I feel like everyone else is fine.
Yeah, Mike Coulter. That's the thing. Mike Coulter and the dude that plays Danny Rand.
Iron Fist? Yeah, I mean, I can't think of his name, dude.
But either of them, like, they're both fine.
Mhm.
But I also think like could be better.
Wow, okay.
That'd be my.
But Karen
my
Ritter.
opinion.
Karen Ritter's great.
Yep, as Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she's
feel
great.
like you can't recast those cats because they're so established in our heads and hearts. I think they just whatever put them in a Defenders. Like let them be Defenders. Let them just pop up as cameos and be done with it. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah. I just Punisher overall.
Keep
John
keep
Bernthal's
Eldon
like
Henson.
a movie guy. You know.
Keep
Huh?
Eldon Henson.
He's great.
Keep Vincent D'Onofrio.
See, that's the thing. If you carry over those other characters, you got to carry over their counterparts.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't have to, but you know, they did it with Rhodey and who else? They recast somebody else in Marvel. Rhodey and one of the Warriors, Fandral. That doesn't count.
Oh yeah, the Warriors 3.
Somebody else was recast. Oh, Hulk,
Oh, just
Hey,
it's
just-
a minor character.
the green guy. All right. So moving on. This is big news, dude. This one
Yeah.
stopped me in my tracks today.
What's that?
Margot Robbie, our Harley Quinn, is
Yes.
going to portray another popular blonde lady, Barbie.
Ooh,
I feel like it's typecasting.
it is a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Like, oh, you're she's just gonna be all the blonde people now.
Yeah, but I mean, on the bright side, you can now change the song to "Come on, Barbie, Let's Go Harley." No,
It'd actually be more correct if it
come
was
on, Harley, let's
come on,
go
Harley,
Barbie.
let's go Barbie, because she's
'Cause
turning
she's
into
already
Barbie.
Harley
Come
turning
on,
Barbie.
Harley, let's go Barbie. Stupid.
Oh.
So
So she's just
What
a
other
Barbie
roles?
girl in a Barbie world, man.
she is a Harley girl in a Barbie world.
Harley girl in a Barbie world.
What is,
What's the story to tell there? That's what
I
I
don't.
I don't even
You know what? I can't knock it anymore because my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies, is a movie that I was like, why are they making that movie? You know what that movie was?
What movie was that?
The Lego movie. When that Lego movie was announced, I'm like, how are you gonna make a movie about Lego?
That's true.
And Lego movie is one of my favorite. No, I'm not being hyperbolic. I love that movie so much. It makes
It's
me
a
laugh.
good movie.
It hits the daddy feels. It's
the daddy
it's
feels.
fun. It's a fun movie, and Chris Pratt's the best.
He really is pretty great.
Emmett, he's a special dude.
That's really funny to
Yeah.
have her do that.
Right. But so, what other characters should she play? Like I Dream of Jeannie?
Sure, why not?
Famous blonde characters. Go.
Famous blonde characters. Bewitched. Are we just gonna go back in time, like just all these
I
reboots?
thought, is Bewitched I Dream of Jeannie? Yes. Isn't Bewitched? Isn't she a redhead? No.
Oh, I guess she kind of is like
I don't
stronger
know.
blonde.
Dude, I barely watched that show. She can be Marsha Brady blonde.
Marsha Brady blonde. Famous blondes.
Yeah. She can be Kim Basinger in the remake of Batman '89.
What if she was Vicky Vale?
She can be Vicky Vale. She's blonde.
What if she
She blonde?
was Stargirl?
Sure. Margot
What-
Robbie can play all characters. They're like, hey, we need a blonde character. She can be
What
Black
if she
Canary
plays
and
Charlize Theron?
and Harley Quinn. She can be Charlize. Why not? She
Yeah.
can be all things.
She could be Tanya Harding. She can be anybody. I
Dude,
guess.
she was great as Tanya Harding.
Yeah, she was pretty fantastic.
Like,
That movie was weird as all get out.
Yeah,
but
it
She
was.
was great.
But yeah, she was great. All right. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
all right.
cool. Who's gonna play Ken? That's what I'm talking about. Will Smith. Ken.
No, let's just bring Michael Keaton over since he was Ken in the Toy Story
Oh,
movie.
That's actually
Just
pretty
he
good.
can just keep it going. Like
Keep it
let's
going.
let's
Like,
change it up. Have a
just
little
old Ken?
diversity.
Yeah,
have a
help
little
some old
diversity
Ken.
representation in this movie.
He's
And
like,
have an
"Hey."
old Ken.
Hey, Barbie.
You want to get nuts?
He's all, come on, let's get nuts, bro. You really can't get nuts, Ken, because you are not anatomically correct.
Hey,
Hey, zing.
nothing
Nothing
to
there.
get nuts about.
Hey, all right. So yes, so it's kind of. I just thought that was a funny
That is pretty
piece
funny.
of news, and there you go. Okay, finally jumping into another Marvel thing. So this kind of slipped. I didn't even know that it was really coming. Just kind of woke up the other day and like, oh, new Captain Marvel trailer. So
I saw they were calling it a special look,
special look. Hey,
aka a
sorry,
third trailer.
a third trailer. The first trailer was like, okay, didn't do anything for me. Okay, first let me preface: I'm gonna watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
First trailer didn't do anything for me. Second trailer was like, let's explain the things people complained about in the first trailer. Why did she hit that old lady? Well, it's a Skrull. Instead of explaining maybe Skrulls and like why they're here on Earth or something to set up the story a little bit, not everything, just like, the Skrulls have been here since yada, yada, yada. No, they just explained complaints, it felt like. This trailer right here
This felt like the right one.
It had a nice little energy. It had that like Elastica song in the beginning of it, or I think that's Elastica. I don't remember. It's been
Nice.
years before that. I don't know what the name just popped in my head.
I'm impressed right now.
Yeah,
I had no idea what the song was.
yeah. It was like. He just let me just play the whole thing.
I'm impressed. I was just gonna let you keep going.
Yeah. So they had the song jump in there in the beginning. It just kind of gives you like, okay, that's a good feeling. I'm in the 90s. I'm Nick Fury, being happy.
Yeah.
Happy two-eyed Nick Fury talking to Captain Marvel, man, starring Margot Robbie.
Shazam!
Shazam!
I liked that we saw a little more action. I think that sequence, especially at the very end of the trailer,
I like Mohawk.
showing a little more action in space, like with the helmet and the Mohawk coming out, looked pretty cool. It just felt a little more like it had that right energy. More than
couple. Any of those things, she felt likable.
Yeah,
like the other movies, she was like, RBF is Captain Marvel, right? And I'm like, she didn't say much, and when she did, she seemed.
Just a serious actor.
Plays Captain Marvel.
This is my serious actor face.
She has that really dumb line though. It's like, I'm not going to join your. I'm not going to fight your war. I'm going to end it. She just sounded like a contestant on The Bachelor. Like she just did not convince me. She was just like, I'm going to get a rose.
She get that producer rose.
She's going to get the producer rose. Yeah. So yeah, good. It just makes me a little more like excited to see the movie that I'm going to go see cool, anyways. Man. So
I think it's cool.
I'm in it.
My wife is really stoked.
Good.
For that. Like she was like, "Oh, that looked awesome."
Yeah. She's like, "I can't wait." Good.
Yeah. What's the news?
Yeah, that's the news.
Let's give some reviews.
Let's get some reviews. So, man, I didn't get to read any of my Marvel books this week.
I have not yet read mine either.
They're stacking up. Got 2 issues of Daredevil.
Yeah.
I got the Man Without Fear, like 1 and 2, because last week it wasn't available. So I'm going
right on.
And then I got Blackbird number 4. What's up, Blackbird? And then I got Spider-Man Miles Morales number 2. Mm-hmm. And I tried to get Punisher, but it was not available today.
Bummer.
Yeah. Batman 62 right here. We got some other DC books like Young Justice, one that we wanted to talk about. So let's jump into that. Let's talk about Young Justice.
Yeah, let's do it.
Number 1, Brian Michael Bendis.
Coinciding.
Bam.
Within days of the premiere
Patrick
of
Gleason.
Young Justice.
Sorry. Bam. Oh, yeah, we can talk a little bit about that too.
Young Justice season 3.
Yeah.
Coming up on DC Universe.
Come on now.
I think, how are you feeling about this book? Like when they announced it, Wonder Comics imprint with all these extra stuff, including, with Young Justice being the primary title. What were you thinking coming into this? Like, what were you looking for?
I think the first thing I was like, how the heck are they going to bring these characters back? The 2 biggest ones that I had a question mark about were Tim Drake as Robin. Like, how is he going to go from... I mean, I guess it's not that big a deal to go from Red Robin to Robin, but I wanted to know why the change. And then, where does Impulse come from? Like, how does he come back? Everybody else seemed new enough, like Kid Lantern, Joni Hex, whatever.
Well, and Connor Kent is the big one too.
Well, but spoilers. Like, we're gonna spoil this comic, by the way.
Yes.
To me, like, okay, I can buy he was in some interdimensional portal, something other, right? Like that. It wasn't a big surprise. Like, okay, they pulled him out somewhere, from someplace. Bendis might have a plan. Like, he's still working on. Where the heck did Jonathan can't go? Like, he went with Jor-El and stuff. So I'm like, how are these tales going to tie to each other?
How are these lining up?
Yeah, Princess Amethyst and Wonder Girl worked fine. Oh yeah, I've been laying low a little bit. Okay, cool. I can buy that. So all the other characters, where they came from, they didn't explain in this issue at all, by the way. Like,
not even a little.
Not even a little. And so for a first issue, for people who new people aren't going to just jump on this book because you watch the cartoon, because it's like a completely different experience from the cartoon to this. Right. And so I think they should have maybe gave us a little bit, but I also get the idea of just throwing them right into the action. So I wasn't disappointed by it. I was just more like, man, well, what the heck? Which they're gonna they're gonna reveal that to us. But with there being two versions of Superboy going on, I feel like they need to explain that or wrap that other story or something. That's all, because that was like a little confusing. Robin does make that comment of like, well, one of them at least, he makes that like that quip. So
okay,
anyways, so those were my big kind of like head scratcher parts, but overall, I liked it. I didn't like love it, and it didn't make me eager.
It didn't make you eager to keep reading.
Mm-mm.
How'd you feel about the art?
Dude, I feel like Gleason was just working really hard, because there's that kind of that splash page close up of whoever Lord Opal is, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, towards the beginning there.
Yeah, and I'm like, is that supposed to be Eclipso or something? I don't know. Probably not. I was getting confused on my DC villains for a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't completely sure what's going on there. I mean, there's a couple of pretty big splash pages that look really good. Excuse me. You got Robin's entrance. I think that's a cool page.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also think you have a few of these. Like you have Impulses, one that's like really big and just fun and like a little more cartoony, kind of pushing the proportions a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have a ton of experience reading either the original Young Justice book back in the 90s.
Okay.
So I wasn't really reading DC back then.
Shame on you.
I know, it's too bad. Because that was also Peter David, right?
Yeah, that was Peter David. Todd Knock.
So I don't have a lot of experience and connection to the original team necessarily when it happened. And also, I didn't read Impulse
That was a fun book.
himself as much. But he seems just like goofy, over the top, like really...
Yeah, he nailed the voice. I mean, the voice felt like authentic to who that character is.
But for him to say, I understand what you mean, though. For him to say Young Justice is back and to kind of know who everyone is when we haven't seen him since, like, was it at the end of the Flash War? I think he was like in a quick little panel, and that was it. And so that's the thing. Like, I think you talked about it, like having a balance in a first issue, I think is all about. Like, I think some people tend to jump into the action a little more than others. But I think when you have that, I think that's fine. And I think it's fine with having mystery and revealing things bit by bit. But I feel like you need to have something, though.
Yeah.
Like you can't give nothing, because then you're banking on people are just going to do it just because.
Yeah. And that's kind of
not
what
because
I feel
you've
it
given
is.
them something to pull them in. And so to have, I think, your interesting places at the end of this book with some of the different characters, like what are they doing? Where do they end up? How are they together?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious because I like the characters. I really like Connor Kent. And so I want to see what the deal is with that. I like Impulse. I think the voice is pretty fun. Yeah, like I'm curious about it. I wonder how many other people are going to be curious enough to read another issue.
Yeah.
I think that's my thought.
Well, I think a lot of people, it's name recognition too. Young Justice, right?
Yeah.
When you think about Young Justice, you're probably, really invested in that book. And that book was like a fun book. It was a tone of funness. And then DC was like, no, we want to get rid of that. We're doing Teen Titans again. Okay, so we got rid of Teen Titans. They did,
which was good. That led to the Jeff Johns run of Teen Titans, which I loved.
And it's ironic because now Teen Titans is kind of, I'm just gonna say it, it's a garbage book. It's pretty bad. Every time I read it, it's just like, what? I
do not care.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it. Sorry, like the art's great.
The art's good.
The art is great.
And it's written by Adam Glass, I want to say.
I think so.
I just don't care for it.
Yeah, it's not a good book. I'm just not interested. And so it's funny, like, okay, well, if Teen Titans is going downhill, let's bring Young Justice back. You can have two teams as well. Yeah. I think that would be great for them to both be great books and both have a Robin leading it. Kind of cool. Like, I can see a war between the teams, like Tim versus Damian. They already hate each other.
Yeah.
Or Damian hates Tim. I mean, that could be some fun storytelling. So.
Do you have any, like, what's your background or experience with Amethyst? I don't know much about her.
I don't know much. She's the princess of
Gem
World. Yeah, other than that.
I that's the only thing I know, too. I mean, I think it's interesting, like, to bring another kind of character into that.
Yeah.
And I'm genuinely curious about Jenny Hex.
Yeah,
as a character, too.
She seemed fun.
The design's really fun. I
Yeah.
think the idea of the character is really fun.
And then Kid
just-
Lantern as well. Like,
Dude, really cool. Teen
Yeah.
Lantern.
or is it Teen Lantern and Kid Lantern?
Teen Lantern. Like Green Lantern,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Teen Lantern.
I guess. Yay. Treen Lantern.
I mean, so it seems like a cool combination of characters, and I like the potential of the lineup of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, full page spread, you know, with Young Justice's back, you know, you have them kind of doing their team poses and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's really fun, man. Like, the colors complement Gleason's art really well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark when it needs to be. It's bright when it needs to be. I'm stoked on it. Those all those variant covers were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The Jorge Jimenez one is funny.
Yeah. Even
just based on the meme.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't tell who did it, but the Wonder Girl one, the Cassie one, is probably my favorite variant cover.
Yeah. The Flash one just seemed too overly painted to me.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, I don't know who did the Cassie one, but it is really fun. I think it's probably my favorite of the variant covers, just because it seems pretty loose, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't have the artist who did the variants in here, so yeah.
Anyway, whoever you are, mystery person,
Hey, mystery artist, good job.
not Gleason, not Jimenez,
So,
not whoever was doing the other ones.
so what did you think about the Superboy reveal?
Well, I knew he was coming,
Yeah,
and so to have him be like, "What are you doing here?" and he's like, "How'd you grow a beard?" Like, it's kind of funny to have that because you would think it's like, "What are you doing here?" Like, you'd be like, "Let me ask, what are you doing here?" And like, kind of be the question and the lead into the next, but to not have that is,
yeah,
it's kind of fun. Kind of knew it was coming, and so I'm like, okay, I want to know more. Like, as a fan of Connor, like I do want to know like what's the backstory there, because we have seen Bendis like put on social media several times. It is in continuity,
yeah,
and it is like in the main like universe. Like, so I'm like, okay, how?
yeah. And the other thing is, like, I think Tim mentions Connor at some point during the battle, and it's brought up. I don't know if you read Lonely Place of Living, and like there's this like Tim Drake from the old Teen Titans future Justice League teams. This is gonna get really confusing. He's like, you know, something about Connor, and he's like, who's Connor?
Right.
Like, he has no idea who Connor is, you know. And right here, he's like, oh, he's totally referencing him. Like, yeah, I know who he is. So there is some lost years going on here, or lost time that they've got it. Hopefully they explain it, because that'll be frustrating. So right now, it's kind of benefit of the doubt, but like fill in those gaps for us.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
like as a first issue, there's a little too much gap for me to have to fill in as a reader, but not enough that I don't want to keep reading.
Exactly.
I would say that's where I fall, and I feel like I'm
Yeah.
kind of in the middle on this one. I wanted to like it more. I just didn't feel like I had enough handles to really get a good handle on what was going on.
Yeah.
So for me, I think this first issue is a go.
Yeah.
Like I still am curious about the other stuff, and I have high hopes because I like these characters a lot.
There you go.
High hopes.
Well, see, I was going.
Nope. I'm going classic, man. Frank Sinatra.
Wow. So I give it a go as well. It is a go, but it is a go that can go higher.
Yeah, I have hopes and aspirations that it can improve and get better.
So
That's what I think. So the other floppy that we want to talk about, also in the DC world,
Yeah.
Batman 62,
Batman
from the Mr. Miracle team of Tom King and Mitch Gerrits.
Here you go. Professor Pig up on the cover,
Pig.
looking all.
Which I like Professor Pig as a villain.
Yeah.
How have you
indifferent.
felt about him
Indifferent.
in general?
Yeah, I'm
You
like
feel
whatever.
indifferent?
Like, I guess I don't understand his motivations much. I'm trying to remember last time I
We had
remember
those
him.
doll things, like you turn
dolls.
people into that.
He was
like,
in the Batman and Robin book where it was Dick Grayson, Damian.
Yeah, I remember that
Fuzzy.
one. Did you see him in
Beware the Batman.
Beware the Batman. He was in
No.
that. I felt like they
he
made
was in it,
sense
but
of
I
his
didn't
character
see
a
it.
little more in that one. In that cartoon, he was more of like a eco-terrorist kind of guy, which I'm like, it's animal themed. He's like Wind in the Willows, like working with the Toad and all these other guys. Like, it at least kind of made sense. And I'm like, how are you going to use this character for a kid's show? Because he is twisted.
Yeah.
Which we get a whole heaping handful of in this issue. Heaping or dripping in this case.
So
seeping.
This issue, I can smell like the rancid pig fat blood, everything. I felt very gross reading it. And it's really, Mitch does a great job like illustrating, right? It started to become gross though to me. And maybe that's the intention. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking is like, I feel really disoriented and kind of grossed out by this.
Yeah.
But also, I'd anticipate that that's
what they wanted.
The point.
Yeah.
It seems like there's this whole run of issues going up, I think for the next several. That's this Nightmares kind of story arc. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if, because of the cliffhanger in Batman number 60, if this is intentional and this is like, is this like Batman's like fever dreams or like dealing with his demons kind of things, and he's experiencing this disorientation, and what Tom King is putting us through is trying to feel the same things that Batman's feeling. And in that way, I think if you judge it off of that, if that's the intention, I feel like it's pretty huge success. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I think this is going to have a bigger payoff next issue. I don't
think it'll pay off next issue.
Really? Well,
I think all these are one shots.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't buy the ending. This is the first like book by Tom King where I was really head scratching like, huh? Okay, so Professor Pig in this dream or whatever's going on with Batman is Damien. Then
I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in.
Yeah.
And he walks away.
Evaluate, reassess, a metaphor, a myth, a story, a dream. So, like, obviously something's going on. I don't know what it is. And I don't need to have it explained, but it was you need to explain something, you know?
Yeah, for me, like, I have a little more grace. Like I talked about the Young Justice issue 1. Mm-hmm. I think because it's a first issue, like, you need to have something. I think when you're in the middle of an arc and in the middle of like such a long arc of a writer writing it, I don't know. For me, that gives me extra capacity to kind of say like, all right, like it took me somewhere. Yeah. I'm confused on where it did, but I'm willing to kind of stick it out and see what goes on.
I'm definitely going to do that. I just feel like this a little bit more. That's all. A little bit more.
A little bit louder now.
I did like the tease he put out today, though. Did you see what Tom King put out?
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay.
And he also listed the other artists that are going to be working with him.
Oh, really?
Nightmares.
I didn't see that.
So Michael Gannon.
Yep.
On one of them. I want to say Amanda Connor on one of them.
Okay.
Lee Weeks on another one. Crap, I'm trying to remember the other ones, but he like listed the whole thing out. I'm like, dude, that is a list of artists. Like, we've talked about it before plenty of times. Like, his stable of artists that he rotates through the book
they're always great,
really, really good. And one thing about this issue specifically that I think was striking was both the colors used and then the kind of like blurring and like double artifact kind of things like that he would have on these panels, man. Like, it's really, really dynamic, really crazy. Like, even to the point you have like the blood and how everything's splattered at the end, like in the background of those last few panels, but it's like neon yellow, green, and orange.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fantastic against like he draws a real solid Batman in my opinion. Like, it's really, really good job.
I like his Batman.
So I'm a fan. I liked this issue. I don't think it's the best of the run or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, maybe in retrospect, we'll go like, what? Like, that was crazy. But without knowing any other stuff, I would say this issue for me was a let's go.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
This issue for me is just a go. Exactly for it being, it could change in the, as it gets collected together. But this issue is the first. This is like up there with Night of the Monster Men with me.
Oh, no.
It just doesn't, for me to reread it, I'm not pulling anything out of it except for the art. Art's great. Like, art's is a gotta go. The art and story, I'm like, what the heck? But, I mean, we have a new issue in 2 weeks, so, well, it changed. Okay, I get what you're doing. I get there's something going on. So.
Yeah, I mean, that last issue was no walk in the park either.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it more. I feel like, okay, there was a little less guesswork for me. So,
yeah,
anyways,
that's
fair. It's a go. It doesn't mean I hate it. It just means like didn't hit me in my Batman sensibilities.
Didn't hit you in the Batman sensibilities.
Yeah.
In the Punishers. In the dad feels.
Didn't hit me in the dad feels or the Punishers. So, which are the same thing sometimes. All right, so let's jump into DC Universe's streaming TV show.
Titans.
Inaugural Titans. Man.
Yeah. So we talked about, I want to say the first episode, maybe the first two.
I think we did.
At some point when it first premiered. And then kind of decided we were going to wait until the end to talk about it again. So here we are. We're going to spoil this season of this show. And you're going to hear all of our thoughts right now.
Yeah, so
prepare yourself.
So going into it, you get that trailer. And, super indifferent. You're like, what the heck is this show? I think I was into the first couple of episodes. I liked the Hawk and Dove episode. But it started to... I'm just going to rate it right now, the whole season.
Okay.
The whole season for me is a go. I think you should watch it, though, to kind of... to see what they're doing. I guess it's unsatisfying is what the biggest issue.
Yeah, I mean, we could just jump straight to it.
Yeah, the final episode.
The season finale was not a season finale.
Nope.
And I would say wasn't even that great of an episode compared to the other ones.
It was more of like, here's the Joker and Two-Face and Riddler, but they're dead, and Batman's unhinged, and, you never encounter Batman, like, as a person. It's always as this figure, and we get it. It's alternate. It's a shadow. It's a dream, or whatever type of sequence it is. It's not really Bruce Wayne. I think it had a lot of cool stuff in it. Like, you got to see the Batcave, you got to see the Batmobile, and you see, this shadowy Batman figure who, when you see behind the scenes photos, that costume's crap. It's never a Batman suit. Which it didn't have to be because you're not showing Batman, talking to Dick Grayson.
Right.
But that episode just ends. It just ends like, we're still in this house and we haven't really encountered Trigon. And there's no ending to the story they were telling. They ended on a cliffhanger. And you can have cliffhangers, but I think you have to have some type of ending to the narrative that you're setting up. We never get kind of this established group. Like, why even call the show
You don't
Titans?
have the group at all.
They're never the Titans.
We had the group in like episode 4 or 5, somewhere around there, and they did a little bit of something.
But they weren't Titans.
And that was it.
They were not the Titans.
And they broke up immediately.
Yeah.
And then when you have stuff happening with Dawn and Troy coming in, and they're driving back to the farmhouse to try to help Rachel, you know what I mean? Like all these things, you're like, oh, okay, like this is going to go down. And then you're like, oh, wait, nope.
Yeah.
More Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
like
there's
an
a lot
entire episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of high spots throughout the episodes. Like, that was good.
Yeah.
But a lot of waste. I feel like Beast Boy was completely wasted in the show.
Totally sidelined.
He was really just there to like give Rachel someone to care about or talk to. And
to introduce us to the Doom Patrol.
Yes.
But, and that's too bad because Ryan Potter that played him, I thought he did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
I thought he did all right.
I think all the actors did a good job.
Yeah, it's just it was kind of all over the place a little bit. I would say I would even say I was enjoying the show. Like, I was enjoying the show. Like,
Yeah.
I would say that, like, until that last episode. And then I was like, what? Like, no, like, that's not good for me. And, like, you can't have a strong story up until the very end and then just kind of drop it. Especially once I read that they're like, oh, yeah, once we were picked up for a second season, we used the stuff for the last episode of this season for the first episode of next season. I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah. That
Like,
really
that's really lame because you just hamstrung your own story to do that. It didn't feel like a Titans anything, let alone a season finale.
Yeah, none of it felt like that. And so that's where I think the disconnect was, and the complete, I don't know, I think it was a disappointment to like, oh, we never got a team.
It felt like a lot of build up to nothing.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. And so I would say, like, from there, I would go back a bit and say I liked the Jason Todd episode. I liked Donna Troy and her episode. I liked, like, that little bit of getting to know Starfire and, like, where she came from finally. Seeing her ship and, like, knowing her mission finally. Like, I was like, okay, like, there's some story development there and some character development. The Hawk and Dove episode, like you mentioned, episode 2 was really good. I was really surprised.
And then the other one, what was the other episode? Was it episode 8?
Oh, it was where they had the flashback?
Yeah. I don't remember the episode.
That one, like, was... Yeah, I like that it gave some backstory to it. I liked the characterization of... we had Hank Hall.
There was a flashback, and then there was a flash forward. Or was that the same Dick Grayson? That was the Dick Grayson one. Never mind.
Yeah, that was the Dick Grayson one.
Sorry.
No, there's a few episodes before that, which is the other thing that made the Dick Grayson episode feel weird. Is, like, you just did, like, 2 episodes ago, you gave us a cliffhanger and then did a flashback, and then you gave us another cliffhanger and then did another, like, alternate.
Walking Dead would do that though.
Thing. Oh, dude. You know. Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean it's good to do.
No, I get you.
But yeah, the flashback was good. Yeah, you have Hank Hall and Don Hall, like, and I actually really liked his brother, and that story was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, really, really heart-wrenching from the jump, like, even them as boys and all the stuff with the coach, like, oh man, that was rough.
Did you care that, I think we talked about that they weren't the elemental, you know,
I think it's less interesting to do that.
Yeah.
To make them just vigilantes, but I can appreciate, I'm the kind of guy, like, with any story, like, hopefully you pick it up, is like, once you tell me the rules and the parameters of it, I'm like, cool, like, let's go. It doesn't have to be what my understanding of it is necessarily. So if they say, hey, I know that's usually what it is, but in this universe where we've set them up as our just straight up vigilantes, I can be like, okay, how are you going to do this? What are you going to do with them as their vigilantes? And I thought their costumes were some of the best costumes as far as looks. Fight choreography was great. And what was the actress's name that played
Minka Kelly?
Dove? She was really good, man. Like, really believable. She's really good. And the guy doing Hank Hall, like, really, I felt for him.
Smallville Aquaman.
Smallville Aquaman. Yeah, so I think there were some real highlights, but I still think no highlight higher than the Doom Patrol in that episode.
So that's what I'm going to talk about highlights. So I would say some of the costumes, Robin and Hawk and Dove's costumes are fantastic. And then the Jason Todd, obviously it's a different look, but it looks good. The costume looked good.
Yeah, and I liked like what a little like wiener he was too. Like it made sense.
I thought he was too much.
I think they needed something for the other attitudes and personalities they have on this show.
Everyone was.
He had to.
But I don't think Dick balanced him out. I think when Dick was experiencing him, he could have been, hey, Dick Grayson didn't feel like Dick Grayson. I think that's my. Sorry, I was talking about highlights, but I'm going to go on the low points. Dick Grayson doesn't feel like Dick Grayson. And I get he's going through something, but Dick Grayson's never been a jerk like that. I can't recall a
Maybe
story.
it's because he's Rick Grayson.
That's right. He's Rick Grayson. He was acting like Rick Grayson. He acted more like Rick Grayson than Dick Grayson in this story. How
Which
about
is
that?
funny because, I mean,
Yeah.
he is supposed to be a dick.
There you go. So, I think a couple, maybe 3 episodes of that would have been okay, but it just carried through the whole season of just this.
Well, especially when we keep getting these kind of hints towards like, figure out who you should be. Like, you don't have to be this. You can be something else.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. Like, this is setting him on the path to be Nightwing. Sounds good. Like, maybe we'll actually get there.
Yeah.
And then, nope. What do we do the very last episode? We actually push him darker.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. That's just
Darkwing.
great.
He's going to be Darkwing Duck, dude. He's going to turn out to be Darkwing. That's what's going to happen.
He's the terror that flaps in the night.
He is the terror that flaps in the night.
Any other highlights for you? I'll throw out one.
I love the Doom Patrol episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Hawk and Dove episodes. Like, those are some of the best ones.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I really loved the portrayal of Donna Troy as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Donna Troy
She was
was
fantastic.
She was great. I wanted to like Rachel Raven, and I didn't. She became kind of like...
I thought it was going to get there, but again, those last couple of episodes, it's like, nope.
Nothing.
And can I just say, like, we talked about it pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
Is it DC Daily?
Yeah.
That they do? They had a clip of, like, Starfire looking completely different.
Yeah,
and Raven having, like, the stone on her head and having a different costume.
Yeah, that was
None
probably
of
from
that. Saw
the
none
last
of that.
episode.
Lame.
Yeah.
That's just lame to me, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, don't like hype something up and then talk about what it's going to be, and then
but they weren't hyping it up. It was kind of what we saw was like a frozen frame from like, here's some behind the scenes footage of the show, and things may have changed like as they were recording it. So who knows what happens? I'm curious how the rest of the world's going to feel about this show, because it's going to hit Netflix, not for us, but for people outside of America who don't have the DC app. So they're going to get it. I mean, it's been one of the most pirated TV shows of all time.
Oh, yeah?
People really want to watch this show. You know what? I like the music choices. They did a lot of cool music choices in this show. So that was cool. I feel like even the set design and everything was good. The Batmobile, the Batcave, all that type of stuff actually looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
I kind of felt when they were in Dick Grayson, or AKA Bruce's special hideout, was kind of the Titans Tower. I feel like it was this big glass type of building.
Yeah.
The influence felt there, but it obviously they're not going to have this huge glass T that they hang out in, which makes no sense, but it's just awesome because it's a T out of glass.
Where can we find the Titans?
Where can we find this? Here they are.
Oh. I don't know. For this show, it would be an F tower. This universe, it changes. They're like, what do we use all the time? Oh yeah, F.
There definitely
and
was,
I'm no
there
like
definitely was an F-bomb.
And I'm no like prude when it comes to that. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't mind it.
Yeah, it just felt like.
But on this, it just felt like really forced, man. I don't understand how it can sound so forced this way to have that going on. And along with that, so you have like the use of like, I don't know if you need to throw the F-bomb in there as much as you are. Like, it just like, I feel like maybe there's better things, like ways they can say it. I don't know. But then on top of that was like the extra like 300 Zack Snyder like blood like splashes every time someone got hit.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, guys. I don't why. Like, it just,
I mean,
it was just those touches that like they honestly like took me out of it. They didn't add anything for me.
Yeah. They definitely were. I just thought it was unnecessary. So I'm gonna take a couple questions, and then I have some thoughts. I got a question from Eric Holzman. It says the Hank and Don episode was really good, but I felt like they didn't use them enough this season. What do you think they're going to do with them going forward?
Ooh, I think they just didn't have. There's so many characters to introduce and try to get on the table there, along with all the side characters from the DC universe that they had come alongside. So I mean, it's kind of hard to get them. I was actually surprised they came back around.
Really?
I thought after we saw them in that second episode and they were in the hospital, I'm like, okay, that was our time with them. We'll see them next season. So to have that come back around, not only with their flashback episode, but also her being in Dick's like dream or fantasy thing, was like, oh, okay, like this is a little more central than I thought it was going to be.
Too, because I mean, they don't really have that type of connection in comics. You know, it didn't really come from that I know of. I'm like, someone correct me. I don't ever.
But Dick Grayson's always kind of been like a little bit of a ladies' man, right?
Yeah, but I mean, most of the '80s he was Starfire's.
Yeah,
you know, and so he didn't really stray too far from that, and so. It's either been Starfire or Barbara Gordon. You know?
Yeah, it's hard to say what their place is going to be. I wonder if, because they did mention her rebellious sister at one point in the flashback episode.
Yeah,
is it Holly? I'm trying to remember what her name was. Her sister's name, and who is in the comics at one point, Hawk. And so I was like, I wonder if they're setting up Hank to be someone that sacrifices himself. For her or for someone else.
I think that's where his story goes. So so for me, real quick, Dawn, I felt like she could have been a little more of a pacifist too, though. Mm-hmm. But she was just out there, like, you know,
just like raking fools with those nails,
popping open ketchup packets, dude, everywhere. Just everywhere. So it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's part of like. You know?
So why are you Dove?
Your preconception of the.
You're Dove
the
because
character, for sure.
You're bringing peace. She's all pieces of flesh, slash. But her persona was Dove. Like when she was like just Dawn. Like
yeah.
Hey, and like you couldn't have cast anybody more perfect because I just feel like her voice is always like that. Even
it seems like really peaceful.
When she was on Parenthood and like just even at the end of 500 Days of Summer, you're like, you should be Dove. You're so peaceful. So, anyways,
sure. Yeah. So who knows what they're actually going to do? But that's where I think I see Hank's story going at least.
Would you want to see like a miniseries with them, like just a 6 episode? Like,
honestly, if they're just straight up vigilantes like this, I don't know if I would see them in their an entire series by themselves.
Yeah.
I think if you add in those mystical elements, that at least gives you a little more story to tell.
Maybe it's a journey on them, like.
Yeah.
You know, you guys.
It's like being picked up by like a major label. They're like, hey, we see what you guys are doing. We like it. we want to. Know that sound you've been looking for? Listen to this.
Because remember, they'd just be like, Hawk. And they'd kind of Shazam their costumes on. Duh.
Yeah.
They would just turn into whatever. Maybe. I don't know.
Because here's the thing. Like, that's. Again, they've set up what their characters are. But for me, what would be far more interesting is like these two partners, like whether it's the brothers or, you know, as it's set up now with Hank and Dawn.
Yeah.
I think it's far more interesting to say like this guy's like overly aggressive and this person actually barely fights at all and just kind of they fight crime in this really unique way. I think there's a dynamic there that's just a little more interesting than both of them just like kick ass all the time.
Yeah.
So that's my thought for them.
Yeah. In the comics, Hank Hall becomes Hawk.
Oh, he
becomes Monarch.
I was gonna say Monarch, yeah.
And just like it was supposed to be Captain Atom, but it got the secret got out, and they're
whoops,
like, "It's Hawk!" Like, wow,
what a twist!
You mean Hawk from Hawk and Dove? He's the big bad, and it was that would just be funny if they did this like thing in the future, like you're wearing a giant robot suit. You control the timeline.
Oh gosh, yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah. And then so we have another question. This will be it. From Nick Zednick. Do you think they're rushing? Oh, and I'm glad he's bringing this up.
This is spoilers.
Do you think that? Yeah, spoilers, guys. This is the biggest spoiler. Do you think they're rushing by introducing Superboy? Would it had made a difference if Robin had gotten a TV show before Titans to introduce his backstory first? Onto that first one. The last question first. Nah, I mean, I don't think you needed a Robin show. This was the Dick Grayson show.
we got his backstory along the way in this.
I think it's fine. I mean, for a show called Titans, they're going to try to share everybody's story. So, don't think that was necessary. But the whole, do you think they're rushing by introducing Superboy's story? I was surprised as heck.
Yeah, that was a pretty big shock, man.
Yeah, I mean, that was straight up. It felt like a mix of Young Justice and the comics and a little bit of the New 52, just with the like the barcode tattoo,
Oh,
because
the
that
tattoo.
was so stupid.
It's still
I hate the
it's still
tattoo.
dumb.
I hate the tattoo.
It's still dumb. I saw. I was like, "What? This is
Yeah.
crazy." Oh, tattoo.
Yeah, it felt very Terminator 2.
and then you
Not
see
Terminator
crypto,
2,
and
but
I'm like,
Terminator.
"Well, maybe. I mean,
That was
that's still
cool.
really cool."
I'm like, Jeff Johns, crypto,
All right, Jeff
Adventure
Jones,
Comics.
like, yeah, Adventure Comics with crypto.
But I'm
and
like,
Connor.
it's Titans, so they're probably just gonna like just slaughter.
But then him and
everybody.
crypto just murder everybody.
Yeah, he's like, I need a black shirt.
So that's what's hard. Is do I think they're rushing it? No. Am I a little concerned about what they're going to do with him based on what
Yes.
they've done with the other characters?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and here's the thing. I think that, remember I talked about at Comic-Con, he said, oh yeah, we're doing the Lex Luthor Superboy story. I didn't think it was going to be this soon. I think we needed a season of maybe them being the
team
Titans.
actually being together?
Yeah, and then maybe Jason Todd dies during that season. You know, like, oh crap. And then maybe at the end of that season, because there's a few major Titans things to cover, you know.
Yeah. There's
Obviously,
some pretty famous.
compressed. So, do we get Tim Drake anytime soon as Robin? Like, is that
Yeah, I don't
does
know.
that
Like,
change?
it seems like a mixing of the streams a little bit.
Yeah, which, okay. So, anyways, that I don't think they're rushing, but I think they could have waited. So
That seems like you think they might be rushing.
yeah.
If you think they could have waited.
Well, there you go.
That's the,
So I guess I think they are rushing. They are rushing. There you go. They're Russian.
oh, whoa. That is a twist I didn't
Yes,
see coming.
they are. So yeah. So okay, I wanted to get back to what we were talking about earlier with casting. So all this casting and stuff gets me really excited for these shows, but the Titan show gets me very skeptical about all these shows.
Yes. Same.
Doom Patrol looks really fun. Like that episode was so good, and in that little trailer they put out with
The little trailer thing with the
little
family
weird
picture.
cyborg.
Like,
wait,
little
what?
short cyborg.
Yeah, like you're just a little, little side
A
bug.
little guy.
He's a little side bug.
Yeah, and then the posters like that they
Yeah.
released, those are cool.
Those are really cool, and so that I'm hoping Doom Patrol maybe dictates the tone of these shows because Stargirl's such a fun character. Like I can't see Stargirl being Titan's tone, but they
Yeah.
exist in the same universe.
But then
obviously,
Swamp Thing needs to be even darker though. Like that's gonna be like straight up horror.
It needs to be horror, and hopefully it is. Hopefully it. But then you got characters like Blue Devil in it, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Starring Ian Ziering of Sharknado. So, and Beverly Hills 90210. So,
Blue Devil 90210.
yeah.
That was good.
So I'm just more curious and skeptical about how those shows are going to be. I want to watch them. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited about them. I
And
don't
we'll
even know
watch-
when season 2 happens for this Titans.
Oh,
it's
dude.
not even on the
It's not even
2019
on the
slate.
Yeah.
So 2020,
Ugh.
we'll be talking about it then. So Jason Todd will hold a beard.
Yeah. With the way the season ended, like I don't feel like I'm jonesing for the next season like at all. Especially knowing that's not coming anytime soon. I'm like, okay, like I don't know.
Yeah.
In my mind, it basically gets written off, which is too bad.
It's kind of like Game of Thronesy. Like people will wait. I don't think that Titans has the Game of Thrones like following.
I was gonna say, dude, not even.
Like if you love it so much, you'll like wait. Like okay, we can wait that year.
Right.
There's been a few shows like that do that, but I don't know. Overall, I enjoyed watching Titans, and as I sat through it, but then the more I think about it and sit and rest, I don't think it was what I wanted it to be, and I was kind of disappointed in some of the character choices. So
Yeah, I would agree.
yeah,
Did you already say it was a go for you?
yeah, it's a Titans is a go for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think it's like you shouldn't watch it or steer
It's not a
clear
bad
or it's this
show, just-
horrible like heap of trash.
Yeah,
But it's also I don't think is nearly as good as it could have been.
yeah. I think it didn't promise either. It didn't follow up on what it promised. Like this is a Titans team. It's not Titans though.
No, it's not. It was mostly Dick Grayson.
Yeah, it was a Dick Grayson show where he, followed.
Didn't really do anything.
And you know what?
That's the hard thing.
The heroes did not act very heroic. I don't think Starfire was very heroic. I don't think the only one who was.
It's like they didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, I think Beast Boy was the only one that you're like, come on, Beast Boy, be a hero,
Yeah.
And it just didn't feel like it. So, it is a go for me again, like you said. Okay, so let's jump and stay into the DC Universe app.
Okay.
Young Justice is out.
It
So
is.
let's go from Titans to Young Justice. Hey, like we've been doing that all day today, back and forth.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Young
So they
Justice
got
series.
yeah. So it looks like they're releasing 3 episodes at a time.
Yeah,
I've watched the first 3 episodes,
there you go.
and it's wonderful.
There,
I
that's
missed this show, and I think
Such
it's
a
cool.
good show.
It's really a show.
About nothing.
No, it's really a show that I was trying to think of. Like, it feels like they really change the dynamic and raise the stakes each season.
Yeah,
Like when you go into season 2,
that's like
and all of a
5-year
sudden
gap.
you're like, wait, what? That's a different Robin. Wait, what?
Yeah.
They're doing this,
And here's why that
Nightwing?
works
Like,
though, because we were talking about earlier, what's going on? Because they do end up filling the gaps in for you. They let you know, but it's enough of a shock. You're like, what the heck happened?
yeah. And
Not,
then you're like, okay, let's figure this out.
Yeah,
But then you still have a connection to like, because is it the first episode of season 2? Like they have the reveal of Kaldor and like what he's been doing. I don't think so. I think it might even be the second episode. So I mean, they have this intrigue where you're like, what? Miss Martian and Superboy aren't together anymore? Like what happened? Like, and so I think similarly, you have some stuff at the beginning of season 3. It does a quick recap of like Dick Grayson's, taking time away, like leave of absence.
yeah,
They continue going, and then it's a 2-year jump, and then we have like some sort of metahuman like trafficking going on.
yeah.
And the craziest thing for me, I mean, you guys should go and watch it if you're able to. Don't let me spoil it for you, but because some of the reveals in those first few minutes is actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I liked experiencing like saying like, oh, we're just missing our fearless leader. And it says Aquaman. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Aquaman. Wait, what?
Yeah, that was
Calder
cool.
is Aquaman. Where did Arthur go?
Yeah,
How is Calder Aquaman, and how did he become leader of the Justice? Like he's leading Wonder Woman and Batman and Shazam and all these guys.
How does he not run out of hair peroxide?
it's just what he is, man.
I love so just telling Matt, I didn't finish the first episode. I think I fell asleep towards the end.
Oh man,
Because I did wake up in the middle of the second episode.
Oh well, there you go.
But I was enjoying what I was watching, and I love this scene where Batman's like, "All right, I'm out." Like this whole like pre-planned like
Yeah, where he was like, nothing matters more than the mission. Like,
yeah, and then Black Canary's pissed off. She's like, "What the crap, Green Arrow?"
yeah.
I like
oh,
that.
dude, like
Yeah.
there was some good dynamics set off like right there. Like you're like, whoa, this changes things. This is different.
And I love the background voice that kind of reads their like code name, like as they're walking through or when they leave. It's like, C17 Batman, whatever.
The same voice actress that does Artemis / Tigress.
Is
I found out. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
I watched because they had the Young Justice Enhanced episodes. I watched most of those.
Oh, nice.
Except for the one where it's just people sitting around like making fun of it the whole time.
Oh,
I was
is
like,
it
I'm
show
gonna skip
people?
those. It's different. So there's 3 different kind of things they did. They had
cool.
one that was like people from the show, so like a voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
For most of them, it was the guy who voices Wally West,
Oh, nice.
Jason Spizak or something like that. I want to say, and then the producers and the character like designer
Cool.
guy. And so they're kind of doing commentary on it, which like this is really fascinating and really cool. And there's another one where they had James Tynion and a couple of people that do like DC kind of like, I'm trying to think, like they take care of like, they're kind of like almost like DC like historians, like they're taking care of like the backlog of DC comics and stuff. So like that's fascinating. The other one is just like these like, I don't know what you would like couch quarterbacks or whatever they would call it in like where it's like these people superimposed over the screen of just kind of making funny comments about everything that's happening on it. And I turned that off about 2 minutes in.
Really?
Yeah. I was just like, I'm just not into this. Like I love these episodes and I don't need to poke fun at them. So anyway, doing that, like,
maybe I'll
so
like those.
you probably would. Dude. I think it'd be fun to do one of those, but I was like, oh, you guys are kind of annoying right now. But yeah, like that voice is the same actress, and she's on one of those episodes on the commentary.
Some people, I completely unconnected. I was listening to a podcast where Tara Strong was on it, and she said sometimes on these shows or even Kevin Conroy was saying that you'll play more than one character.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like, hey, we need you to.
I'm pretty sure
get
the guy
your
that does
day
the
rate.
voice for Calder, Aquaman, is doing the voice for Black Lightning.
Oh, nice.
It sounds like it, because when he does Black Lightning, I'm like, oh, that sounds closer to Cyborg. That's the guy I know.
Yes, yeah. Black Lightning is Cyborg. He's definitely like, you're not trying
He's a little more like, he's like Cyborg, but like 70s Luke Cage, like kind of thrown in there, like Jive Turkey, like kind of like. So like, I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Nice. I want to watch some. I don't see them on the app though. The extra episodes, like if you're.
It's like a completely different show. Like when you look up under the list of shows.
Oh, really?
Young Justice Enhanced is one of the shows. So yeah, check it out. The first 3 episodes, they're setting up a lot of stuff. Like, man, they just keep expanding this universe. What's really fun is keep an eye out if you're familiar with the Grayson run of comics at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few nods to that in Dick Grayson doing his non-Nightwing like mission and stuff. In one of the
episodes.
I
saw that actually. I did see him doing his thing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the dynamics and who they bring in, and then we are also. I mean, it's in the promotional stuff. We're seeing the genesis and the origin of Geoforce and Prince Brion of Markovia.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, everything, it's like everything we know from all the iterations from Outsiders seems to be kind of being pulled in, which I'm not mad about at all.
Yeah. We
have a lot of Mother Box and Father Box talk already. We got Parademons and some of the stuff. Like, there's a lot of apocalyptian stuff.
Apocalyptians.
So I'm curious to see where that goes. We still got G. Gordon Godfrey, even though I don't think Tim Curry's doing his voice anymore. Just too bad.
Yeah, I don't think he can.
But they definitely leave you like wanting more, like those 3 episodes, in my opinion. I think it's cool.
Very cool. Just gonna quickly promote Green Lantern, the animated series, is available.
Yes, it is. It's
on the
so
DC
good.
Universe app, and I love that series. I was watching some of it.
Gosh, it's such a good show.
Yeah, and then they got some. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I don't know if I said it, but
go.
I think the DC Universe app is fantastic. I know I said.
I don't know if you've said that before.
I like how it curates stuff, man. Because All Star Superman's on there now too. You can watch that, and it's kind of neat. Like, hey, there's some new stuff for you guys.
Well, Reign of the Superman's going to be on there when that releases pretty soon too, right?
That's very, very correct. Awesome. Cool. That just reminded me that it comes out Friday.
That's this Friday?
I think it's Friday. It comes
Holy
out.
cow.
Yeah.
Guys, we got something new to watch.
Maybe, I think so. Maybe I'm right, but I'm
okay. Well, now everyone that just rushed
wrong.
over
there you go.
to check out the app, I apologize.
Yeah,
for
go get the app
Justin's.
though. I think it's worth it. So, all right, Matt, that was a good episode.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you thought so.
If people want to like tell you that was a good episode, Matt, what do they do?
They could just say it to me. That's
Just
fine.
say it to
Well,
you.
yeah, we just speak.
In person. I'll give them your address. Your address is. I don't even know what your address is, dude.
That's it. You just
I just
drive
show
here.
up. It's left.
You can talk to me.
Everybody, just go left.
Just go left wherever you're at. You
Swipe
can
right.
talk to me on Twitter at Matt Ritchie.
There you go. You can follow me at J_Rocco, or you can follow the show at Let's Go Comic Show on Twitter and Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram. We're putting a lot more fun stuff out there. We have daily content for you on Instagram. So you're like, what? What is some little comic book history? Tell me a little bit about Armin Zola, right? Or what is a good comic book duo? We'll tell you. Or
What's the
cover
this
of the week?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You want to know what the cover of the week is for this week? You're going to have to look at the Instagram.
Oh.
I'm going to whisper like Anne Hathaway in Dark Knight Rises. You're going to have to look at our Instagram and you'll find out. So, and then, again, thank you. Huge shout outs to Cindy, the intern. There you go. So please visit our website at www.letsgopodcast.com. And you can buy some shirts because we have a Smell Them Floppies t-shirt that's out right now for you. Get it. You can get it in
That
white,
floppy
black,
couture.
green, orange. Dude, Floppy Couture. That one's coming next. Floppy Couture. So we said we were going to do it. It'll come. So yeah, do that. That helps support the show, and join the Patreon at patreon.com/letsgopodcast. Thank you guys so much. And the best thing you can do right now, and this will be the final promotion of this, you can win that Black Mana bobblehead. Not bobblehead, that Black Mana pop by going to the iTunes podcast store and leaving us a 5-star review with some words. Don't just hit the 5 stars, put words on there, and we will read them on the show, and we will be drawing a name next week. So there you go.
There you go.
My name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, go.